Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's Tuesday review video. This week we're going to be talking about the Too Faced Do You foundation, which is part of their Tutti Frutti line. Now in case you didn't know, the Tutti Frutti line by Too Faced is actually an Ulta exclusive, and here in Canada we don't have Ulta, so I did find this at Winners actually. But you can order from Ulta online in Canada, and you can also order this foundation from the Too Faced website, so I figured it was still safe to do a review on it. The full name of this is the Too Faced Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation, infused with juicy watermelon and fresh cucumber. Mine is in the shade Vanilla, which is the only shade they had because it's Winners. On the back it says long wearing, dewy finish, hydrating, brightening, and you get 1.35 fluid ounces in this little bottle, so you actually get more than you usually do in a foundation. At Winners this cost me $16.99, but it looks like on the Ulta website it's $36 Canadian, so that's actually not as expensive as most other foundations, but it's a little pricey depending on what you're looking at still. Speaking of the Ulta website, let's take a look at the foundation there. It says, only at Ulta, hydrate and brighten your complexion with this long-wearing watermelon, cucumber, and vitamin C infused gel cream foundation that covers every flaw while creating a dewy, fresh, and luminous glow. Too Faced Tutti Frutti Do You Fresh Glow Foundation smooths, moisturizes, and nourishes skin for a flawless, fresh complexion that's a one in a melon. One in a melon. Benefits: long-wearing, dewy finish, 20 hydrating brightening shades. Formula leaves skin with a glowy satin finish. Infused with soothing watermelons and cucumbers, helps even skin tone. Gel cream formula leaves skin ultra hydrated and brightened, non-comedogenic, infused with fruit extract, and cruelty-free. Now, I did find it interesting that if you scroll down to the how to use section, it says moisturize and prime, but let your products absorb completely before applying. Finger application works best, or you can use a dry sponge. Stipple on, starting at the center of your face and working your way out. You're going to notice in this video, I use a brush. I often use a brush these days. Apply it however you want. But I found it interesting that it says, this unique foundation dries down to a shade slightly deeper than its wet color. Your Born This Way shade is your Do You shade. So, when I first apply this foundation, it matches my skin tone almost exactly, and then it does dry down darker. So I like that they put that disclaimer there, because or else I would rip it for oxidizing. But if they warn you in advance on the website that it does go darker, I can't fault them for that. So stupidly this morning when I started shooting this video, I shot the application, but I did not shoot like a really close-up before the end of the day kind of shot. To let you know, like when I first applied this foundation, I mean, it looks alright. I do have to set it with powder because my skin does get kind of oily and it is summer still, so you know, I had to set it, but I find that this foundation looks better the longer I wear it, actually, because just throughout the day, when it mixes with my skin and my natural oils, I find that it looks more skin-like and more just like natural, dewy, and fresh. By the end of the day now, nearly 12 hours after I applied it, it did look a little bit too oily in my opinion, so before I started shooting this part of the video, I did blot and powder, but I obviously took the aftershock first, and it's just a little bit too oily after 12 hours of wear, but after like 8 hours of wear, 10 hours of wear, it's fine. It is a really dewy, fresh, glowy look. I really appreciate the look of this foundation, but the biggest con to this foundation for me is the scent. I should have known because it's a Too Faced foundation and it's called Tutti Frutti, but the artificial fruit smell in this foundation is absolutely overwhelming when you first pump out the foundation. It does go away. It doesn't linger on my face all day, but for that first bit, when I am applying this foundation, I am absolutely, like, out of breath because it is such an overwhelming scent. I wish Too Faced would stop scenting things. Like, I just wish they would stop. It's overwhelming, and it harms them more than I think it does them well. And in this case, the scent is all super sensitive to smells. Please stay away from the entire Tutti Frutti line. But that is really the one big con, is the scent. And so once I get over the scent, once it's gone, I really like the foundation. To me, the Do You foundation is very similar to the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation, but almost like this is the Pokemon evolution version. Like, this is the starter, and then this is the next step. Because what I sometimes struggle with the L'Oreal Lumi is that it doesn't really set down. Like, it's beautiful and it's gorgeous, but it just kind of stays luminous, and I'm someone who touches my face a lot. Everything touches my face. I'm short, things bump into me, that sort of thing. And I need whatever to be generally transfer proof. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be like generally transfer proof. It has to set down enough that it's going to hang on and have some sort of lasting power. And as much as I love the L'Oreal Lumi, it stays too dewy and sort of tacky for me on its own. I have to use a primer and set it. Whereas this, I feel like, does set itself down to a point where I can wear it and not worry about getting foundation all over everything or everyone. I'm interested to try this foundation again in the wintertime. It will be too dark for me because sometimes now when it sets down, I feel like it's too dark. But just because it is so hydrating and so nice in that sense, and I feel like it gets too oily right now, like, maybe I will really like it. I'm thinking about purchasing a foundation lightener anyway, so then maybe I can try this then with that. But I do really like it. I think if you have oilier skin, you might not like it because you might find it gets too oily, and it just maybe gets too dewy as well. But if you have sort of dry, normal combination skin, I really like this, and I think you might like it as well. The shade range is decent. It could be better. I do like that you get more than 1 ounce in here, and it's not that expensive. I mean, I have a lot of foundations that are much more money than that, and actually this L'Oreal one is only like $10 cheaper. So yeah, I'm glad that I was able to find this foundation randomly at Winners one day. I would prefer it if Ulta would just put stores in Canada, but until then, I guess I'm just stuck looking for things at Winners. Like I said, I could order online if I really thought about it for more than 4 seconds, but I've never done it, and I'll do it someday. But overall, I think I actually really do like this Do You foundation. I have an exploding foundation collection these days, and I really just stopped buying them, but I'm glad I bought this one because it's nice. And anyway, those are my thoughts on the Too Faced Do You foundation. I think I just generally seem to have good luck with Too Faced foundations. I don't think I've ever bought them Born This Way, but I like the peach one. That's the only other one I think, actually. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and you subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already. And I will see you next time. Bye!